There are places you visit, and there are places that stay with you. Germany is one of the latter. Not because of its landmarks alone, though they rise like ancient monuments carved by time, but because of something deeper, something you don't always see in pictures, something you feel. It's in the silence of a fog-wrapped forest, in the haunting echo of church bells across a sleepy town square, in the resilience behind every stone rebuilt after war and ruin, in the laughter of beer halls and the quiet reverence of old libraries. Germany is a land of contrasts, of order and chaos, tradition and rebellion. It's a country that has been fractured and reborn more times than most can remember, and yet it stands. Not as one story, but as many. So let us wander, not as tourists, but as listeners. Let us journey through her cities, her villages, her mountains, her rivers, not just to see, but to understand. Because Germany is not just a place on the map, it is a story waiting to be heard. Berlin, the city of echoes and new beginnings. Berlin doesn't ask for your attention. It simply exists like a wound that became a scar and somehow a masterpiece. You don't walk through Berlin, you navigate it like a puzzle of past lives and broken dreams stitched together with concrete and courage. At the Brandenburg Gate, history doesn't whisper, it stares at you, bold, unblinking. Once the gateway to things, then a dividing line between ideologies, and now a symbol of unity that refuses to fade. Here the ghosts walk beside you. At the Berlin Wall Memorial, silence says more than speeches. A single line of bricks cuts through the city, a scar where concrete once split lives in two. But Berlin isn't mourning, not anymore. It's painting over the past with wild colors, graffiti that bleeds emotion across walls. It's techno music pulsing in abandoned bunkers, laughter spilling out of Turkish food stalls, artists sketching stories in alleyways soaked in stories of their own. This is a city that doesn't forget, but doesn't stop moving either. Museum Island speaks in the voice of empires and philosophers. Tempelhof Field, once an airport, now breathes with kites, joggers, and children learning to ride bicycles. It's as if Berlin decided even the sites of war can become playgrounds for peace. In Berlin, the past and present don't collide, they coexist. And somehow, in the heart of all its grit, graffiti, and ghosts, Berlin becomes beautiful. Not in spite of its pain, but because of it. Munich, where tradition dances with time. Munich wears its heritage like a crown, proud but never loud. Here in the heart of Bavaria, tradition doesn't age. It dances gracefully, defiantly, through time. At Marienplatz, the clock tower sings, not just with chimes, but with mechanical figures telling old tales twice a day. And beneath it, the people gather, not to rush, but to witness, to remember. Munich invites you to slow down, to sip your coffee longer, to walk with intention, to feel the old stones beneath your feet and imagine the feet that walked before. The English garden is more than a park. It's a sanctuary, a river, a sunlit poem. Students nap in the grass, elders play chess, and at the ice park, surfers ride a permanent wave in the heart of the city, a pulse of rebellion in this symphony of elegance. Autumn arrives with golden leaves and the hum of accordions at Oktoberfest. It's not just about beer, it's about belonging. It's about clinking glasses with strangers who, in that moment, feel like old friends. Art lives here too, in the halls of the Alte Pinakothek, where brushstrokes speak in silence, in the quiet gaze of a Rembrandt, in the trembling light of a Turner. Munich is order wrapped in warmth. It's a city of punctual trains and lingering moments, of beer halls and ballet, of pride and gentleness. And when twilight falls and the city glows in amber and soft laughter, you'll understand. Tradition doesn't resist time in Munich. It dances with it. Neuschwanstein Castle, a fairy tale on the edge of reality. Sometimes a place feels like it was imagined first and built second. Neuschwanstein is one of those places. Perched high in the Bavarian Alps, wrapped in mist and myth, this castle isn't just architecture, it's a dream rendered in stone. Ludwig II, the king who built it, was called the Mad King, but perhaps madness is just misunderstood imagination. He didn't want a fortress, he wanted magic. And magic he created. The towers rise like something out of a bedtime story, swans carved in wood, chandeliers like starlight frozen in time, murals whispering sagas of knights and swan kings. Outside the Alps stand guard, the trees shift with every breeze, and in winter, snow wraps everything in silence, as if the world itself holds its breath. From the Marienbrücke Bridge, the view is unreal, the castle below, the valley stretching forever. It's the kind of view that reminds you why fairy tales exist, because sometimes reality needs a little enchantment. Neuschwanstein was never finished. Ludwig died before it could be, but maybe that's the point. Some dreams are meant to end. They're meant to live on, half told, half true, entirely timeless. Rothenburg ob der Fauber, a town caught in a time spin. Some places fight time. Rothenburg simply escaped it. Walled and wonderful, this medieval town sits on a hill like a secret never quite told. Its half-timbered houses lean like whispers. Cobblestone streets echo with carriage wheels and soft footsteps. It doesn't feel staged, it feels spared. Spared from the world's haste, spared from the noise of now, a place where the past isn't preserved, it's lived. The Plönlin, that famous crooked corner, looks like it fell out of a storybook and landed softly in reality. Shopkeepers wear aprons, bells toll the hour, and lanterns glow like fireflies at dusk. Climb the old walls and walk the ramparts. Look down on a town that refuses to forget what simplicity feels like. It's not just charming. It's haunting in the way that beauty becomes more beautiful when you know it won't last forever. But Rothenburg has lasted, and it invites you to linger. Not as a visitor, but as a guest in another time. Heidelberg, the city of poets and broken hearts. Heidelberg doesn't impress. It seduces slowly, softly. Nestled on the banks of the Neckar River, it is a city draped in ivy and melancholy. Students wander its stone paths with books tucked under arms and dreams folded between pages. The university, Germany's oldest, breathes with centuries of thought. In quiet cafes, you can almost hear the sighs of philosophers and the laughter of young lovers who once believed they'd live forever. And then there's the castle. Ruined, regal, clinging to the hills as if caught between heaven and heartbreak. You stand there looking down at the red rooftops and it hits you. Some things are more beautiful because they're broken. Heidelberg is not loud, it lingers. In poems, in memories, in letters never sent. It's the kind of place that leaves a line in your heart, like a stanza you'll quote one day, without remembering where you first heard it. But you'll know it was Heidelberg. So now we reach the end. 5 places, 5 voices, 5 moments where Germany revealed not just its beauty, but its soul. This land is more than castles and cathedrals, more than forests and fairy tales, more than beer and bratwurst and Berlin's bold graffiti. It is contradiction. It is courage. It is history and hope walking side by side. And perhaps most of all, Germany is a mirror. Because as you journey through its streets and stories, you don't just discover a country. You discover yourself, not as you were, but as you are becoming. And that, like all the best travels, is where the real journey begins. Let me know which place you love to visit in Germany. Kindly like this video, share with fellow travel enthusiasts, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.